Hi, y'all. So I'm Connie Leon, and I am here with Houston Latina Pulse. We are at CC Network today, and we have a new guest. Today we have Manny Lopez. What are we calling you? Manuel Lopez.
No, it doesn't matter. Manuel Lopez is my actual birth name, but everybody knows me as Manny Loam.
Loam.
So I don't even know what to use now anymore.
We're going to figure it out.
We'll figure it out today.
So one of our biggest goals for this podcast is to highlight community members who are doing big things in the community, who are creating and building and fully involved in this community. So we're going to start with Manny, and we're going to start talking about a little bit about who you are, your background, and then where you're from.
I haven't done a podcast in a while, so it's kind of like, But, well, I'm a local recording artist. I do music. I'm a yoga instructor. I'm a dancer. I'm a local entrepreneur for a club, a trucking company. And yeah, I do a little bit of everything.
All the things.
Yeah, all of the above.
And then, so you're from Houston, and what is your background?
I'm a proud Houstonian, Mexican-American, Lebanese background too. My grandpa was Lebanese, and yeah, just embrace the culture here, I guess. It's a Houston culture. So
yeah. No, we definitely know Houston is like a big melting pot of all the cultures. And so just in learning a little bit about who you are and what you do. So you are a recording artist and you have a band here in Houston. You also help run a venue for your family. And how long have you been doing those two things?
So I've been recording for about 10 years. I started off as a bachata artist. Being from Houston, the diversity in Houston, I was embracing that part of the culture. And then from there, I switched to norteño light. I've done pop. I love singing. I love the diversity that Houston brings to me and how it makes me feel. So yeah, so I've been doing recording for 10 years. I've been at the club. It's going to be 11 years this year at Rodeo Disco. Trucking company is about 15 years. It's all family owned too. So yeah, I was kind of thrown in there, I guess you can say. But
you've become a serial entrepreneur, right? You've not just taken those concepts that your family has built, but you've also done other stuff outside of there for yourself.
Yes, correct.
And that's how we met, through a creative studio.
Yes. So having, well, I think this is the whole story with that. Like having being an artist, I had my studio and we did a lot of stuff for music, photography, arts and everything. COVID happened and we kind of transitioned that to a rental space. And then we started doing photography, wanted to do more. I have a big creative side, I think. So I started just making the space more available for everybody else and being able to share it. Especially during COVID. And then, yeah, eventually just kind of switched off back to the business. Club opened back again. So yeah, I kind of try to keep myself busy. So that's
good. And I think that's the biggest part where we connected, right? Like you're just a hustler, like you said, serial entrepreneur. You just try to keep yourself busy and going, right? It's not, because I know you personally, I feel like you never want to be stuck and you never want to be stuck in one place. So you always just continue to grow and build on the last.
You know me better than I do sometimes. No, but yeah, I think for me, it's just staying busy, staying consistent, not limiting yourself and embracing every part or everything that comes into mind and just doing it instead of like overthinking about it. It's really important. Executing. So, and not limiting yourself to anything. So that's why I continue to follow the dream of, being a big artist, a big name, and even if it has to transition into different areas, like in my case, bachata and then pop and then balada, and then I don't limit myself to a certain genre or a specific way of being or anything. So, well,
you just kind of pivoted with like where everything kind of takes you. And again, just knowing you, right? Like you've become such an entertainer. You're just a natural entertainer. You're a people person. And so your personality kind of just makes you become that person.
Exactly. And it's just me. Like that's just how I am. I'm like, so to me, the most important thing is just be yourself. So,
and through all of that, all the creative knowledge that you have, all the entrepreneurship knowledge that you have, and I tell you this all the time, you're very smart. You have so much knowledge. No, you're super smart. You have so much knowledge about all these different things and you've implemented them in a lot of things that you do. But there's one thing that you're working on now that is a concept that you've grown over the last a lot of years, right? How long has it been for this?
I think, I registered the name about 8 years ago. I kind of been sharing this idea for probably, the whole time. I came up with an idea of having a performance venue and just doing like being from such a diverse city like it is Houston, I wanted to have a space where anybody could really be creative. So with time, I realized that it doesn't really have to be a specific space. It could be more of a community. And that's basically what I'm telling myself now. Like, you know what? It's time to execute, because it's been my baby for so many years. And it's just been like, I'll talk about it. I'll like comment about it. I'm like, oh, I want this, I want that. And it's just been that idea. And slowly I've been kind of purchasing, because obviously it gets expensive so I've been having that mindset of like purchasing like things that I would like for the place to have. So recently I decided to execute and build this community of creatives where it's like you can do performance like singing, dancing, arts, having a good drink, or, eating, being a foodie, all together in one place. Inspired by Frida Kahlo, which is,
one of our
legend.
favorites.
Yeah, one of our favorites. So yeah, I registered the name as the House of Kahlo. And it's art, dance, music. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. Like it's the location currently where I'm planning to open up. It's a lounge area that we have in one of our businesses at Rodeo Disco. And I want to make it more like a darker speakeasy where we can, I know growing up, we talked a lot, like I was very involved in folklorico and dancing and arts. And I will always see telenovelas and stuff and see the show Aventurera. And so I want to embrace that. Like I want to take that out, like that culture. Like, so that's kind of like what the plan is, to have shows, musicals, arts, and just execute all that. But mainly focusing on the Mexico side, like
the cultural side
and just being yourself, just enjoying the arts.
Yeah.
And me, I have a little bit of everything. I like singing, I like dancing. So I want to have a place that I can call home and a community that I can share with, even if it's 10 people, 20 people, 100, thousands, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's like, being able to execute something and work on something, staying busy and showcasing every part of like the love that I have for the arts. I'm very excited about. So
I love that. And so how soon are you planning? Well, I know you've executed as far as the location and prepping. How soon do you want to start getting people in this community?
Well, I'm going for, since everybody that I know for the most part, and like I've been talking about it for so many years, knows that's like my baby. I kind of want to execute on my birthday. So I'm thinking executing July 11th. My birthday's actually July 10, but I don't want to be working on my birthday. So July 11, I want to do a performance, a very artsy culture, good drinks, and good food, and just kind of go on that. Very traditional, very folklore, inspired by Frida and like the craziness, proudful, person she was, and how she always just executed,
And you have a theme for your birthday every year. What do you call it? The manifest.
Manifesting that.
every year, it's like a whole event for like half of the month of July. For your birthday. So that's what this is going to be a part of.
Yeah. So basically usually I do a party and then we do a vacation. But this year I'm just going to hold everybody, you know what, in one space. This is my baby. So if y'all want to come and see me, y'all going to have to go to Manifest and at Rodeo at the House of Kahlo. So be part of the community.
Yeah.
So
I love that. That's awesome.
It's going to be bright for sure. It's going to be bright culture. There's going to be you're going to be able to open up your senses, every sense of your body. So you'll be good.
Interesting. No, I'm scared.
I'm just kidding. Watch it. Hey, y'all will have to come and check it out first.
Yes, definitely. And so in kind of talking still about being yourself and being authentic, and you and I have these conversations all the time.
What does crime part, huh?
I'm like, don't cry. No. What does the month of June and Pride represent for you?
I think being obviously a gay man, like I was talking about this whole business of the House of Kahlo, it's all about embracing who you are. So I don't like being put in a box. And you know that, like, I'm just no box. Like, I'm just a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Being my faith being, still Catholic and, still not saying I'm a Catholic, just is very it's very, I don't even know what the word is. I just feel very grateful that I'm able to be myself during this time and still continue to execute, and do things that I'm able to do without being limited. There is a lot, there's still a lot of work to do, but all I can do is be a leader and, show who I am and be as transparent as I can be.
Yeah.
So my pride for me has been a transition from, just evolving who I am, like embracing my imperfections, what the imperfections are. I get very excited every time that I get to do things that I feel like back in the days, I look back, or older, gentlemen or, females back in the day, community that weren't able to do. So I'm just very grateful for that. And, my faith is my knowledge is my knowledge. Everything that I do is from me. And I'm just very, very happy and very grateful for that, that I'm able to do that.
No, and I love that. I know your family and I know you. And so it's always super important for you to be yourself and to stand up for yourself and represent that in every space that you're in. And so I know the amount of gratefulness and how thankful you are for that.
Yeah.
So I love that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
You would try to make me cry, but I ain't going to cry. Today ain't the day. I had coffee this morning, so no.
Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, so in talking a little bit about Houston as a whole and as a community, what are kind of the things that you feel that Houston is still maybe not lacking, but that we could do better as a whole? Even in speaking in entertainment, in entrepreneurship, and so just the different spaces that you're involved in, what do you feel is lacking or that could be better?
I'm actually, I would say support, but then I think about it and I kind of compare myself to every other, or not myself, but compare the city to every other city that I've been. And I feel like Houston is actually very supportive. So I feel like what we need to do is be more confident in ourselves and execute more because the support is here. I've actually met with people from New York recently and from California, and they're like, it's because everything that we do here, people actually support it. And then I'm like, yes, we do. We just have to execute our thing as Houstonians. I feel like we don't execute as much as we should. And we don't take advantage of everything that we have because we're from an amazing city. We have so many things, where it comes to food, to arts, to music, to any industrial thing, the port. You can literally, if you really want to do something, you can do it in Houston. You don't have to leave the city. Yeah. So I feel like we were raised kind of thinking, or not necessarily raised, but most of the mentality as a Houstonian, it's in order to be an actor, you have to go to LA. In order to do this, to go fashion, go to New York or Miami or whatever. Including myself, I've thought about it. I want to move over there. But instead of staying here at home and executing and embracing the fact that we have such a beautiful city and that we have so many talented people here. So being more confident in ourselves as Houstonians, I feel like it's something that we kind of lack. Yeah. But it goes back to self-confidence.
Yeah. So. It's crazy that you're saying that. So in the small business stuff that I work in and the small business owners that I work with, I actually just met a small business owner and I can't remember now where she was from, but that was her biggest highlight. She's like, I'm just so surprised at how supportive people in Houston are. And I'm like, is that not a thing? Are people not supported in other cities? Obviously not.
I think for the most part, every time I travel, it's more like a competition. And even we're very I guess because I'm such a proud Houstonian, I feel like we're very welcoming.
I think all Houstonians are proud Houstonians.
Very, diverse. We're culture. We don't really hit a culture. We support each business. If you think about it, we eat all types of food. We go to all types of restaurants. Yeah. Everything is we don't have to be Asian and eat Asian food, Mexican and eat Mexican food. To me, it's I eat Indian and I eat Moroccan and I eat every type of food, and we're big foodies. So it goes back to food. I'm a big foodie, so I know. So
and there's fusions
of everything. Yeah. And I feel in other cities it's more no, this is what we do. We're Kim and Focus and we're doing this. And there's more competitive side. Well, that's what I've seen. I don't want to put anybody down, embrace it, but share the diversity.
Yeah.
So amazing.
No, it's true. It's true. And definitely I feel we're we're competitive with other cities, right? Like,
yeah, oh, for sure.
We're like, not Dallas, not this, not that, because we're, you know, we love Houston so much, and people here are that, right? Like, we band together and F everything else. Like,
yes.
yeah, no, I'm definitely like that. So
it's definitely a Houston thing. We just kind of like bring it back.
Yeah.
I was actually in Puerto Rico this last weekend, and I was telling them, I'm like, oh, it's because y'all need to, it was some people from Chicago. And I'm like, y'all should come to Houston. Houston's so diverse, so beautiful. The culture, the food. We have like our own thing. This is a Texas thing. This is a Houstonian thing. And they were like, you sell it really good. And I'm like, no, it's because I love it so much. And that I haven't been to a place where it's like Houston, you know? So, and they were actually told me, they're like, you should be a tour guide over there. I'm like, oh, believe me, that's thing. And they actually gave me the idea. I mean, I've been kind of like, you know, writing down, ours, like notes and stuff that, so my name on Instagram is, my personal one is Manny and Houston. So I was like, okay, I'm very proudful. So even your name is Houston, right? Handle. So they were like, well, tour guide. I'm like, tour guide, I could just start posting more on my social media about great things to do in Houston. Yeah. Obviously, most foodies do food, but I don't really want to do food because I'm picky about my food. Like, I like culture food, but still healthy on the healthier side. But more on going to like parks and museums and stuff like that we have in Houston that people don't really showcase, and we have it. Like we actually have all that stuff. I don't think we promote it enough like we should.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of leans one way, right, or the other, like very heavy on like the night scene, the bars and the food. And then like you kind of forget about all the attractions because there are.
Yeah, we have so many. Yeah. Like there's something to do. If you want to do something, you want to go on a date night, there's something to do in Houston every single night. Yeah. I actually just went to the Jazz in the Jungle at a plant store. That was so amazing.
Oh, at a plant store.
Yeah. Yes, I think Eden.
Uh-huh.
And it was just like, who comes up with these things? Like, this is so amazing.
It's
like,
so different.
Nobody does it except Houston. We do it here. Like, so.
Yeah, we have it. Houstonians have their sales pitch down really good.
Yes, we do.
Can sell you Houston like nothing. So something else that I want to talk about that wasn't on our list of questions, but we're going to do it, is what you recently got certified in, which is yoga. Mm-hmm. I think because you and I, we talk a lot about spirituality and meditation and manifesting. I think it's a big part of like who you are also. And so how has that kind of made you feel like connected to, all of the things that you do?
I think it's brought balance to my life. Mm-hmm. So originally, I started practicing yoga probably about 2 years ago. Not too much. I was just very once in a while. But I knew that whenever I was so stressed, I was like, let me jump. Let's just go take. Eventually, my husband, actually, my fiance husband, he went to, I basically call him husband already. So we were basically married, 10-year relationship. He started doing yoga teaching. And there was a lot of things that we would just disagree or not feel comfortable with, and we found yoga to be a balance between us, a connection. And then I saw the change in him that made me feel like, what was it? Because whenever you do yoga teaching, you're not supposed to share what you experience.
Oh, so when you're in the training part?
When you're in the training program. So I just saw so many changes, how much he grew, things that like the way he thought, like more how he cleared his space, how he was able to step back and focus on himself. So I was like, you know what, let me try it. Mm-hmm. I ended up trying it and, just recently graduated in this last semester. And it was life-changing because we live in such a fast-paced, way of life, especially me like that. I'm like on it like all the time. I was able to learn how to breathe, how to meditate, how to actually like clear my mind from all distractions and be able to execute. And then also find the sensuality of my body, like how to move, like feel know my body instead of just moving around and not realizing like you need to take care of it. You need to take care of your soul inside and out, not just living that fast-paced life. So I'm able now to be very present. Yeah. I'm now able to balance it out, like have a crazy day and just come home and, meditate and clear my mind or breathe. Like something we forget to just.
It's crazy. It's like the simplest thing to do is to breathe, and we do forget.
And we're like all like fast, and it's like, how much calmness it brings just to take a breath.
Yeah.
And you know how hard it is to not supposed to say it, but we took like an hour breath work, and it was such a high. Like I was just like, no drugs, no nothing, just breathing, and it was so amazing. My mind was so clear. There's so many learnings that I was able to now practice, and so many things that I was able to learn, and so many ways that I was able to connect and listen to people. Because part of that class is communication. Part of the yoga thing. Even if I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but part of it is the teaching is
all the yoga secrets coming out.
I'm gonna get in trouble. No, it's important to share that. And there's a lot of things, and I will tell them, because obviously I was more on like, everybody in the yoga is more like chill or like relax, and
you're drinking all the coffee and hyped up.
Like I'm like all coffee and like alcohol, and I'm partying all like I would go. Like part of the classes is from it's at Lifetime, and I was doing it from 7 a.m. to like 7 p.m. 12 hours, right? On Saturdays and Sundays for the weekend. And I had partied or like gone out and worked the night before, and I slept 2 hours, and I'm just there, and I'm like, no, I can't do it. I was able to overcome every obstacle that I had during that transition, and I was able to like understand myself more and respect my body and take care of myself and just be who I am and find a balance between all my fast life and then being able to bring it back and just bring it back to me, and knowing that the most important person in the world should be me, to me, and if I don't take care of myself, and if I don't do it, I'm not able to execute or be there for anybody else. So,
and I know like it's really hard for us to slow down, right? Like it's one of the biggest things. You and I are both the same in that sense. And I know like during COVID, when we actually connected and like really got close, it was because of that slowness, right? Like I met you before, but we never connected. Like there wasn't that moment or that time. And it wasn't until we both slowed down that things happened where we realized, oh, well, we're both kind of on the same path. We're both kind of on the same journey of all these different things. So I think that that's super important, because having that slowness and having that moment to slow down is where you learn and just kind of learn, like you said, to balance it all out.
And then you see it.
Yeah.
If you're always so fast, you don't see it. Others see it, but then you kind of calm down. You're like, what? Then you think about it, and then you realize like, okay, what can I do better? How can I respect my body better? How can I be healthier and, be happier? Because in reality, at the end of the day, it's like, this is your journey. You decide how you want to take it. But why not enjoy the journey and be present in even whether it's like you're running, jogging, but you're not just jogging, but you're actually paying attention to nature, to the beautiful things in life. Because it's not always like execute, go all the time. And you forget to be present and like pay attention. It's all a gift. Everything's a gift. Yeah. So you have to, I feel like everything needs to respect, and I pay attention to it more. And yoga has taken a lot out of me to be able to acknowledge everything all my surroundings and appreciate people more, pay attention more. Like there's sometimes that, people are kind of aggressive or like, flicking you off in the freeway for like driving normal and not being so fast or whatever. And then you realize like, well, we're probably going through something. Like I'm okay. I can only do what I can do. I'm only in control of what I can do. As long as we have to be ourselves and be good and not be so mad all the time. I know it's hard, but we can do it.
No. Manny's always getting after me for being mad all the time, but I'm working on it.
She's always complaining. I'm like, stop, yo.
I'm working on it.
Can I cuss on this or no? Stop your shit. I'll be telling her, I'll be getting on her ass about that. I'm like, okay, man. Like she'll be getting mad at man because like, what was it yesterday that you posted? I'm gonna call you out.
Someone told me that I was being
every man should probably agree.
I was being more positive lately. I was like,
actually,
I don't know what that means.
You actually have, but it's probably me because I'm like, stop your shit. Let's go.
It made me think about you.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I was watching you. I'm like, oh, okay.
My next rant was going to be about you. But anyway, so is there anything else that you feel that you want to share with everybody that we kind of haven't talked about or that we didn't touch on? We talked about you as an artist.
Actually, it's just more of like, more of a little bit of advice, not advice, but just continue dreaming, stop your shit, execute. Like that just, to me, it's just like, I feel like that's the most important. Like that's where I've been kind of in the space that I've been, that I want to let people know like, hey, it's time. Like it's time for you to execute. It's time for you to just continue. It's more of an advice, I guess you can say. It's time. Like, We can do it. We got it. Houstonians, be confident that you can do it. So,
because we're Houstonians.
Because we're Houstonians, of course. You know, it's us.
I didn't make you cry, so
you're gonna try.
You're gonna have to come back another time.
Okay. No, because I drank too much coffee. I was like, I knew I was coming with this one, so I'm like, triple shot, no 2 shot, 3.
Time to hype up.
Yeah. So
thank you so much for coming and being a part of this and going along with all the things that I asked you to do with me.
Yeah. She literally just told me, you want to do a podcast? I said, okay. I read a little bit and I was like, okay, whatever. I don't know what to expect. I actually didn't want to expect nothing. I was just
good.
She threw me under the bus. So
no, I didn't.
He's just like, whatever.
You threw me under the bus. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching.